Hello, and welcome to Grug Gaming, and welcome to another episode of What's in the Box with Magic the Gathering. Last episode, we looked at the Liliana Planeswalker deck. This time, we're going to look at the Ajani Planeswalker deck. The Liliana one, of course, being based around Liliana the Necromancer, a deck all in black, around flying, trample creatures, and bringing stuff out of your graveyard. The Ajani deck is based around a cat, which you can't go wrong with cats. Everyone loves cats. So let's go ahead and take a look at this guy here. I will note, unlike the Liliana one, where I went right to it after work, I have had time to wash my hands today. Sorry about the dirty fingernails in the last episode. Hopefully I didn't drive too many people crazy. But these a little bit cleaner handy pandies for y'all. So sorry about that previously. Also, wow, our Amrow Seekers. They are shiny today. Look at those. Slightly new camera setup. We also had trouble with our last episode with the camera battery. So I've rearranged the camera and I've got it set up so it has constant power, so that should not be a problem for us. But it has kind of changed things around, so I'm still trying to figure out some glare because that's crazy. But let's go ahead and get this guy opened up and let's take a look at what is inside the Ajani Planeswalker deck. We're not going to get sidetracked like we did last time, by the way, with the giant commentary on the state of the cards. Wizards of the Coast, if you're watching, feel free to send me product to open. I'll be happy to open it up. Hopefully I haven't ruined any chance of that by talking about the current state of card stock, which I'm sure they love hearing about. Alrighty, so inside of here, ooh, he just came right out. We have our plastic. Everyone loves plastic. And my cat loves the fact that I just threw that box on the ground. So he is just having a party down there. That's amazing. We'll see if he comes up to visit us today. Hopefully not. He's been trying to get on the table all day long. Alright, so inside, what do you get? You get your Planeswalker card, which we're talking about in a bit. You get your Planeswalker deck box. Beautiful, nice Planeswalker art in the front of it. I really wish he was named Siegfried or Roy. That'd just be better. We have inside the box quite a few items. I like these little cardboard boxes. I mean, if you're just getting in, you don't have, I think this is a Legion box, you don't have deck boxes of your own. It's nice that they give you a deck box to like take to Magic, and it's got enough space in it for your 60 card deck and for your sideboard, which is also important. So we'll go ahead and pop that just outside of camera view. Inside here, inside the actual box, we have the deck itself. We have a set of inserts, and we have a set of Core Set 2019 booster pack. Beautiful. We'll open that last on the video, as we have started to do traditionally. First thing, we've talked about these before, but we might as well show them in case you didn't see the previous video or you turned it off because of my horribly unclean after-work hands, which I apologize for again. We have this little card, gives you the phases of Magic. It explains what's on a Magic card. It explains what the different types of Magic are. It explains the... Oh, this is kind of cool. Ooh, I can do this now with the new setup. I have all this free space I didn't have before on this side. Again, we have all of that. And we have the phases of Magic, how to win the game, the parts of a turn, the different phases, and a little bit of an ad. It's kind of strange that they have the Dominaria Planeswalker deck. Down there is one to buy. Is that Dominaria? No, that's not Dominaria. That's either Aether Revolt or that's Kaladesh. I can't remember. It was before I got back. Kind of weird they haven't updated that, but you know the cost of printing doesn't help. So no reason not to. Next up, we have this little insert inside of Planeswalker. That we've talked about this before with the Liliana deck. What this does is this gives you a general idea of your deck. Tells you, hey, don't mess with it until you've played the deck a few times to figure out how it works. It gives you a rundown of what your deck is supposed to do. And then it tells you what a Planeswalker card is, and then it gives you the keywords. So this deck is going to use creatures with flying. It's going to have first strike creatures, creatures with vigilance, and creatures that have the lifelink ability. So it gives you that, tells you a little bit about the Planeswalker that's in here, and shows you what color the mana is based around. On the back, it explains to you the fact that, yes, this is an intro product. So next step will be to buy the Deck Builders Toolkit, which they are putting out soon. I'll get a copy of that for us to look at. That is built around building up your Planeswalker decks. And then tells you to go join your Magic League at your local gaming store. Remember, folks, go to your local gaming store, because while you can buy Magic products anywhere, you can't play Magic the Gathering at Walmart or Target or any of those places. So let's take a look what we've got here. So first, let's look at the Planeswalker. Now, in the Liliana deck, we talked about this quite a bit. These Planeswalkers are not very strong. These are intro kind of cards. They don't have super lot of strength. I actually like the Ajani better than the Liliana card. So for 5 mana, you get a 5 strength Planeswalker, a 5 loyalty, as opposed to the 4 loyalty on Liliana. Right off the bat, too, you have a +2, a -3, and a -9, as opposed to a +1, a -1, and a -7. The reason I like the +2 better is that with a +2, you will get to the ultimate faster if that's your goal. It's just a stronger thing. Also, with a +2, that means on turn 5, if you put this on the board, you use his +2 ability the first turn he comes out. That takes his life total to 7, which puts him outside the range of being one-shot by something like a 5/5 or, you know, which is a pretty common strength to see at that point in the game, would be a creature with a 5 strength, 5 power, 5 toughness. The Liliana card gets wiped out if it gets hit by that. He is outside that range, and either the enemy has to spend a big creature on him to get him taken care of, or some type of removal spell. So it's a tougher card. You know, it's that 5 loyalty is a lot better place to be. So +2, you gain 1 life for each creature you control. In a deck with a lot of creatures, that can be a lot of life. I mean, on turn 5, if you're running something like a token deck, now with Goblin Chain Whirler, you don't see a lot of tokens anymore, but I mean, let's be honest. Goblin Chain Whirler is a 1 damage across the board. If you're running tokens that don't have an Anthem on the board by turn 3 and have more than 1 life, I don't know if your token deck is very strong. But something like Saprolings or things like that, there's a lot of stuff that only has 1 toughness. But if you can get a lot of creatures on the board, that can be a lot of instant life. And it makes him bigger and tougher, and they have to deal with him. The reason why they have to deal with him is because focusing is difficult, apparently. On here, his -3, all creatures you control get +2/+2 until end of turn. So you can put this down for 5 mana, and if you want, you can get a board-wide buff of +2/+2. That could win you a game. Right there. I mean, let's be honest. This card could win you the game by putting a bunch of power and toughness on the board. Okay? And last up, his ultimate, a -9. Put X +1/+1 counters on target creature, where X is your total life. If you're playing a lifelink deck, a life gain deck, that can be a giant creature. You can force the opponent to either just die, I mean, just right there, or you could force them to deal with a creature maybe they didn't want to. Why are you having so much trouble focusing? Think about it. If you have 20 life, I mean, it's only turn 5. If you're lifelinking, you can have 20, 30 life. And you could have something like a 5/5 and a 6/6 and a couple big creatures, and then you could have a little 1/1 token on the board, and you can make that token a 30/30. And all of a sudden now they have to deal with the 30/30 and then whatever else you have in your board state. Right? I mean, you're not going to do that in turn 5, by the way. I'm sorry. But, you know, within a couple turns of him getting out. Also, his foiling's not bad. Ooh. We get the glare. The foil doesn't look as good as this new camera setup. I think he is a much stronger Planeswalker than the Liliana, and I think he actually could be useful in decks, because I think all these abilities work a lot better. He's a tougher Planeswalker. 3 turns after he comes out, you can do your -9 and make a giant creature. I mean, I just think he's actually not a bad card. But again, compared to the other Planeswalkers, he's not that strong. But I kind of like him. I think he's not bad. He may end up in a deck. let's look at the rest of what's in here. So, pop these suckers open. Oh, where's the pull tab? Oh, I gotta do it over here. Everything is all weird with this new camera being in a different spot. Woo! Insane. And put the plastic out of the way so the cat doesn't eat it. All right, here we go. So first we have Ajani's Influence. Put 2+1/+1 creatures on target. Put 2+1/+1 counters on target creature, and then, like we saw in the Liana deck, the same idea. Look at the cards in the top of your deck. Put a card in your hand. Put the rest at the bottom of your library. 4 mana. I don't know if that's really that good a card. Now here's a card I actually like quite a bit. Mentor of the Meek. Whenever another creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield under your control, pay 1 if you do draw a card. That's pretty good. So, I mean, you put this out, and then every creature you play in a weenie deck, you're getting an extra card for? That's pretty good. And 2 toughness, not 1. I like it. Another Ajani's Influence. And then we have Sarah's Guardian. 6 mana, 5/5, flying, vigilance. All other creatures have vigilance. That's a good card. This is a really nice card. This is on pair. On pair? What the heck am I saying? It's not juicy and delicious. This is on par with what we saw with the demon card in the Liliana deck. Just a great, good creature. Really good card. Then we have the Plane Cycle art. Let's just take a look at that art there. Some people really like to see what the art looks like. That should be it. So if you wondered what the planes were going to look like in Core 19, now you know. Cat, what are you doing? Pardon me, we have a little problem. Somebody's trying to get where they don't belong. All right. That should solve it. Sorry, everybody. Next up, Ajani's Pridemate. Uncommon, 2 mana for a 2/2. Already okay right there. And then whenever you gain life, you may put a +1/+1 counter on Ajani's Pridemate. Sorry. Again, the cat loves to be in here when I record. Not always the greatest thing. But this card, not bad. And in a lifelink deck, it's only going to get bigger, and they're going to have to deal with it. Next up, Cavalry Drillmaster. A 2/1 for 2 gives +2 strength. It's first strike to everything you have on the board. I mean, late in the game, this could be a good card to combo with, but I don't like it, especially at 2/1. I don't like it that much. If it had haste and so it affected itself, maybe that'd be okay, but Dwarven Priest, not bad. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life for each creature you control. You can build a big board state. You can get a lot of life out of this guy. He is just a common, though. Herald of Faith, a 5 mana, 4/3 flyer, and whenever he attacks, you gain 2 life. Nice. It's another angel. I mean, if you want, I mean, it looks like angels are coming back in Core 19. I mean, we have these angels. There is that crazy angel. It's like a 3-drop that's coming out that gives you, makes angels whenever you gain 5 life. So a lifelink angel deck, it's coming. You're going to see it. There's going to be a cat and angel decks all over the place. Inspired Charge. Creatures you control get +2/+1 until end of turn. Just your normal buff. Knight's Pledge. Enchant creature gets +2/+2. A regular buff card. Luminous Bonds. Enchant creature. Enchant creature can't attack or block. Your normal kind of white control. Mighty Leap. A reprint from Amonkhet. Target creatures +2/+2 and flying until end of turn. Again, buff and evasion. Here we have a neat card, Militia Bugler. And again, if you're doing a weenie deck, a white weenie deck, it's going to be interesting to see those. So a 3 mana, 2/3 with Vigilance. On top of that, when it enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library. Reveal a creature card with power 2 or less from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So dig through your deck, put lands you don't need on the bottom of your deck, at the point you're playing this guy in a weenie deck, and then go ahead and grab something you need and put a 2/3 body on the board. Not bad. Oh, Oreska's Swiftclaw. It's just a 3/1 for 2. It's nothing fancy. I'm talking like I know all this. We all know that I really don't know what I'm talking about, but it's fun. Pegasus Courser from Dominaria. 3 mana, 1/3 flyer. Makes something else fly when it attacks. Good card. Revitalize, 2 mana, gain 3 life, draw a card. Garbage card. And then we have the Rustwing Falcon. It's a bird for 1. It's a 1/2. It flies. It's good. I like it. It ain't spectacular. Will there be a bird deck? I mean, we had some cool birds in the previous, in Dominaria. We saw some birds come out. Maybe birds is going to be a thing. Next, the Meteor Golem. I love Meteor Golem coming up here. I think it's a good card because it solves a lot of issues. It puts a body on the board, a 3/3, not bad. It can go in any color. It can give you straight up removal late in the game. When it enters the battlefield, destroy target non-land permanent opponent controls. I mean, you can wipe out a Planeswalker, you can wipe out an artifact. Whatever you need to get rid of, this can do it for you. And what's nice is because it's a creature, not only do you get the 3/3 body, but half of the cards that would stop this, like in blue control decks, a lot of their cards, a lot of their anti-spell cards they only affect non-creature spells, so this gets around some of those, and we're losing some of those with Amonkhet and Kaladesh blocks kind of rotating out. So they're not rotating out yet, but I like it. Court Cleric, this is if you have an Ajani Planeswalker card, it links with it to become better. 1 mana for a 1/1 with lifelink. That's just good right there. And because, a 1/1 lifelinker is fine. But then it's +1/+1 as long as you control a Ajani Planeswalker, so it gets buffed. Within a Ajani Planeswalker, really good drop. But it's not going to get that till late in the game, and it might not still be in the board. And then your 2/2 flyer for 2 mana. It's a Silverbeak Griffin. He's got a silver beak. He can fly. He can peck your enemies to death. He's all good. We like him. I think you get 4 of these. You do. So, again, this deck I think is stronger than the Liliana deck. Oh, it's all off center. I am so sorry. Oh, I am so sorry, everybody. Oh, why? How did this new camera setup is going to take me forever to get used to. So what you have here is a deck that I think is much stronger than the Liliana deck. There's a couple cards that aren't that great in it, but compared to what we're seeing there, the Planeswalker is stronger, actually could be used in regular standard, and these angels, the other angels here that have flying and light, and you gain 2 life every time they attack, those are just good cards. It's a better set of cards, I think, than what you have in the Liliana deck. Personally, that's what I think. But let's see what we get. What's in here? What's going to be in the Core 19 pack? Let's take a look. And we don't have to speed up because the camera's got power. Oh, power is always good. Everyone loves power. All right, so we have Dwindle. Sure Strike. Ooh, they're kind of crooked here. Mighty Leap. Omen Speaker. Daggerback Basilisk. Aven Windmage. Another bird. I think birds are going to be a thing. Another Cavalry Drillmaster. A Spark Tongue Dragon. We saw him in the last pack. Another Wall of Vines. Of course, it's a common. You're going to see commons over and over again. All right, we are into our uncommons. Aegis of the Heavens. Target creature gets +1/+7 until end of turn. You need to save something. I don't know, +1/+7. I'd rather have those stats kind of spread across. But for 2 mana, not bad. This card, a lot of people are liking. Suspicious Bookcase. It's a wall, 0/4 for 2, and it can make other creatures unblockable. It's got Secret Bookcase. Psychic Symbiote. 3/3. Ooh, for 6 mana for a 3/3 flyer. That's kind of expensive. And when it enters the battlefield, target opponent discards a card and you draw a card. I don't know. That seems really expensive for those effects. It's a 3/3 flyer. That's hard to say. And our rare, what do we get? Ooh! We got a Desecrated Tomb. Whenever one or more creature cards leave your graveyard, create a 1/1 black bat creature token with flying. So, I mean, you combine this with what we are seeing, things like the Reanimating Skeleton card in Core 19, a lot of zombie cards in Core 19, a lot of back from the graveyard effects. We could see this give you a lot of bodies on the field. So keep that in mind. It's at a 3-drop. Did we get a dual land? Oh, we got a foil. I actually really wanted one. Oh, that's cool. I'm pretty excited about that. We got a foil Dragon Egg, first of all. The foiling looks really good. We'll see how bad these curl. So it comes out, it's a wall, right? It's a defender. It comes out, 3 mana, 0/2 defender, can attack. And you say to yourself, well, that's not too great, Grug. Well, don't worry. When this dies, so after it blocks the first thing that it blocks and dies, it turns into a 2/2 red dragon creature token with flying and gets fire breathing, which is spend 1 red mana, +1/+0 at end of turn. I think this is a really good card. It gives you a blocker that is going to replace itself, and the replacement is going to be pumpable with fire breathing. I just really like this card. Oh, and this keeps happening. I don't know. This is what's going to be weird. Almost every Core 19 pack has a dual land in it. I mean, they are the tap lands, so they come into the battlefield tapped. This is the white-black Forsaken Sanctuary. They're reprints. They're slow. They slow down multicolored decks, what I find odd. We are coming out of... Ooh, and a Night Token. We are coming out of a set that had a lot of multicolored deck setups. Kaladesh and Aether Revolt, coming out of those, you saw a lot of energy decks, things built around Aether Hubs, Spires of Industry. We have a lot of the lands that came out in Dominaria that come out that check to see if you have another land of that type. Like we have the Isolated Chapels that come out and they check and see if you have a swamp or a plane. If you do, they come out fine. If not, they come out tapped. But the reason I find it strange that we're seeing these slower lands that come out, give you both mana types, but they run slower, is because Ravnica, from what I understand, which is going to be the next set, has a lot of decks that are built around 2 colors. So I'm surprised we're not seeing more lands that come out, that this set doesn't have more lands that come out quickly and give you those 2 color sets. So it'll be interesting. So that's what we have going on there. It's just my thoughts on that. But really cool. We got a Desecrated Tomb. Check out the Ajani deck. We did that with our Clean Fingernails. Woo! Which again, I apologize for in the previous video. Note to self, don't make videos when you get right off work. But the big thing there is, again, the Ajani deck. It just seems to be stronger. They are entry-level decks. They're not meant to compete at a high level. They probably won't win anything in FNM, but so far between those two, the Ajani looks better than Liliana. Don't know if we'll open the other Planeswalker decks. I don't really have a lot of interest in them as far as the cards go. And by the time this goes up, I probably will be getting ready to record all of our booster boxes for Core 19. So we'll look forward to that, folks. So until then, and our beautiful camera setup with this glare down here, which hopefully has just been awesome to look at the entire time. Oh, my hand here to kind of block that out. Until then, folks, I'm going to say thanks for watching. Please tell your friends. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, we hope to see you soon.